Get it again. We're calling this meeting to order at 6:05 p.m. We'd like to welcome everyone. At this time, we will stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And now the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Review of the agenda and adoption of the agenda. Anybody have any changes they would like to make?
I'd like to add on to the internal board business, just a quick review of our conference we attended this weekend, just to give a brief overview.
To where did you?
Under internal board business is probably the best place to put that.
So 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Do we need Mr. Elkins is here, our senator, do we need to add him on, or you want to?
He's going to be participating in the recognitions.
Recognitions, okay, all right, just want to be sure.
Mayor, were you wanting to do public comments, or are you just doing the recognitions as well?
I'm just here for review.
Okay, that's what we thought. We just wanted to make
If you want to
sure.
say something, I'll say
I mean, you know, we love to hear you talk.
We always want to hear a proclamation. I mean,
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
All right. Motion by Ms. Hall, second by
Kaiser.
Mr. Kaiser. I was getting there. Mr. Kaiser, I was writing at the same time. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with Mr. Dorsey absent. All right. We are now to the consider approval of minutes from regular draft budget board meeting on January 28, 2025. I haven't got mine pulled up yet. Was everybody here? I believe they were.
Yes,
Okay, all right. Anybody like to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Kaiser. Got it quicker that time. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right. Clark County Public School recognitions. Miss Bush.
Good evening. We would like to begin with our recognitions by introducing Mr. Senator Greg Elkins to come up. Can you get that? And he has a few words.
So, I don't even remember where I came to learn about these two young men who had taken it upon themselves. They were inspired by family members that had served in the military, and they took it upon themselves to go out and solicit funds to purchase a bench for our Veterans Memorial. So these two young men, they found a problem, they identified a problem and found a solution, and that's something a lot of us adults even struggle to do. It's easy to find the problem, but to identify the solution and then go out and bring it to fruition, these two young men did. So as I saw what they had done, they raised $2,700 or more to purchase a bench, and they raised, they had some money left over. They purchased 2 bricks from the memorial down there for the memorial, one for I think it was one of them was for an SRO, if I'm not mistaken, Brian Call, if I'm not mistaken. And so that was just, to me, that was outstanding that they would do that. And I was so touched by it, and I was so moved by it, I wanted to present them with citations from the Senate floor that just recognizes them for the work that they've done. So I did one for each of those young men, and they look like this, and they're done by me, and it's something that they can have for them for the rest of their lives. And so I won't bore you with reading all of it. These young men have earned every bit of it. They deserve it. I wanted to honor them with these citations tonight. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dustin.
So, we often don't get this level of recognition, but since we do, we want to also partner with the Your Greatness Shows. So we've got Mr. Walker Puckett
And Colton Wilson. Good job, guys. Well done. Good job. You missed them all. Very good, Boston. You are Colton, so there's that, and then the
So
second.
we gotta make sure and hold Ms. Crosby in one direct. This is the hard part, getting the right photo shot right here. Here we go. I told you, she's good. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Here we go. Thank you all.
See a couple others.
We got mamas, they got mamas. Very important. Hey, guys, congratulations.
Good job, guys.
I appreciate you.
This evening, we would like to honor our RDC band and GRC band. They are the District 7 honor band for our district. The director is Mr. Calvin Smead. And at this time, we would like to have Cassidy Moore, Daniel Kelly, Landon Zavitz, Anderson Kidd, Sebastian Allgood, Sophie Smig, and Maximo Shemwell. We would like to recognize them tonight, and we will get their certificates to their sponsor as soon as tomorrow.
Huge round of applause. Oh, Mr. Speed, you don't get out of this, boss. Come on now. Without great instructors, we couldn't do this. He tried to, didn't he?
Okay, your head is behind hers, so I need you to, yeah, okay? Are we good? Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Perfect, thank you all.
It's not a shake right there. That's one amazing shake today.
Our next recognition goes to the GRC dance team. This has been an incredible season for the 24-25 dance team. It's truly remarkable that in their very first ever appearance at KHSAA Regional Dance Competition in November, they achieved first runner-up in hip-hop and qualified for state. This is a phenomenal accomplishment, especially considering the talented competition that they faced. Their success did not stop there. Placing in the top 15 at the state competition, it is a testament to their hard work, dedication, and talent. It's especially impressive considering the team only has 1 senior and 3 8th graders. This young team has many, many places to go. Tonight, please help us recognize Madeline Berriman, Shylin Berriman, Allie Hart, Haley Wills, Madison Gullett, Gracie Borders, Sophie Bloss, Aubrey Williams, Emma Galloway, Stevie McCullum, Layla Snell. They are coached by Haley Snell and assistant coach Riley Blythe.
Then we'll have a dance off.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Great.
Absolutely.
You do not want to see him dance. The Difference Maker Award is a recognition given to individuals or organizations that have demonstrated exceptional leadership, innovation, or an impact in a field. This award celebrates those who have gone beyond and above in a positive difference maker for their community, industry, profession, or at large. From her early years as a preschool student to her current status as a senior, she has exemplified the values and dedication we strive to instill in our students. Michaela Lopez, you are incredible. What an accomplishment. A huge thank you for your hard work and dedication into getting Clark County Winchester a safe haven baby box installed. This is truly inspiring. We are grateful for your year-long commitment to this project. We're so impressed by your initiation and positive impact that you have made on Clark County Winchester. Please help us in recognizing Ms. Lopez.
Once you get some pictures. Once you get some pictures. Okay. Oh, where do you want me? I botched this up. Okay. That's what I need to read.
Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Awesome.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mayor, for all your support. Appreciate it. You want to say, is this proclamation time?
Well, first of all, I think they signed up to speak when they didn't.
Wait.
I did sign up. I don't know, I might just need to sit down. Kayla didn't tell you her story, but just real quickly, I wanted to share with you, back about it, Kayla, a year ago, maybe July, I got an email at the city, and the email said, I've got an idea I'd like to pass on to you. And long story short, to make it brief, it ended up being the baby boxes that we put in at the Winchester Fire Department. And what that is a box that's literally built into the wall at the fire station. It has a bassinet inside of it, and when mothers feel like they can't take care of their children and need to give them up, they bring them to the fire station and open up the baby box, and the immediate alarm goes off. As soon as that closes, in the fire department or the police department, one comes and takes the baby out within less than 2 minutes and transports that baby to the hospital. So we are one of the few communities in the United States that has a baby box. This young lady brought it to me at the city, as I said, and I didn't think she thought that the city would act on it. Central Bank stepped up and gave us $20,000 to help purchase that. And so my hat's off to Michaela and what she's done. And I'm a product of the Clark County school system. I'm a retired teacher from the Clark County school system. And I just wanted to say that we've got the best. And I thank God that Clark County is the school that we are in the district. Thank you, sir.
What is a bridge builder? A bridge builder is someone who connects people or groups, often across differences. They foster understanding, collaboration, and positive relationships. They help to bridge gaps that might exist in various factors. In this particular case, Mr. Kent Kugel organizes and displays his student work from preschool to high school, is clearly demonstrating this bridge building effort. He connected different age groups within the community, showcasing their talent and fostering a sense of unity in his Martin Luther King Community Day celebration that we had a couple Mondays ago. The Bridge Builder Award is a fitting recognition of his efforts to bring people together and build connections within the community. I doubt Mr. Ken anticipated the extent to which his student display would now be embraced. I believe that the Clark County Hospital wants it to go on the road, and I believe he has someone else too. So it's very, very a remarkable job that he did. Please help me in recognizing our bridge builder this evening, Mr. Kent Kugel.
I didn't give you one.
Okay. Gentlemen. Anyone who has ever dealt with snow removal, whether professionally or at home, can possibly encounter some of these comical times. Okay? So, the buried treasure. Someone diligently cleans a lot, piling the snow neatly, and come spring, we accidentally find a newspaper delivery tube, a school mascot, signage, or maybe the manicured flower bed. The slippery slope. He is confident in his snow clearing abilities, begins to tackle a steep slope, and then halfway up, his blade slips, and the truck completely goes backward, but it's injury-free. The snow plow. Ready to plow in the early morning hours, he arrives at the office only to discover he detached the plow somewhere a year ago, and may have to find it. The frantic search begins, involving the backtracking of where did I store that last winter. And he can't ask his wife where he put it. The snowball wars. The two workers engage in a passive-aggressive battle of snow placement, which is trying to pile the snow higher and higher to create a beautiful mountain range for bragging rights. On a serious note, this award is called the True Grit Award. It is someone who demonstrates exceptional courage, resilience, and determination in the face of adversity. It highlights the ability to persevere through challenges, obstacles, and never giving up. Tonight, we would like to recognize a group of men who are the backbone of our operation, working diligently behind the scenes to make everything possible every day. We extend our sincere appreciation to the maintenance department for their unwavering commitment and tireless efforts, particularly in the challenging mornings of 3 o'clock when it is snowing, ice, and sub-freezing weather. Their dedication and resilience is truly commendable. Their willingness to work diligently in this cold before dawn is deeply valued and appreciated. The work of this department is absolutely essential. Their commitment, even on the coldest mornings, directly ensures the safety of our students, staff, and the excellent conditions that our buildings are today. Please help us in recognizing the following people. And not everyone can be here, but I'm going to read their names. Mr. Tim Bolby, Jason Carmichael, and you can come up if you're here. Bailey Craig, Adam Dunaway, Shannon Gregory, Vaughn Lee Haney, Bradley Hardy, Sean Igo, Joseph McLeese, Tony Ricketts, Aaron Weiss, Michael Walker, Billy Damron, and Mr. Brandon Watkins. I thought I was trying to be funny.
I get one thing, you get one thing.
Because I heard about all that.
It never happened. It was made up.
Yep, yes, yes. All right, ready, here we go.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
I'm back.
Welcome back. We are, poor Christy. We all found you funny, I promise.
It was hilarious.
Yes. All right, we are now at public comments, and we're gonna take Ms. Mayor Reed off. And we are gonna start with Ms. Jada Brady.
All right.
Hello.
This is for you guys.
Oh, yes, Jada, this is just for, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of you all. So we will keep it around 3.5 minutes.
Hi.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, well, as you all know, my name is Jada Brady, and I'm coming back to address the Clark County School Board as a resident of 717 Bivey Road and your current PBA. First, I'd like to welcome our 2 new board members, Carl Kaiser and Paula Thomas. As I've extended to the rest of the board members, I'd like to extend an open door invitation to the PBA office to you all as well. Now, Mr. Kaiser and Ms. Thomas, today I gave you the same map that I gave your counterparts last year, which is the county broken up into school districts and an overlay of the quad plan. This year, I will be reassessing quad 2. This will lay over the districts 1, 3, 4, and 5. It's most of your downtown area and several of your subdivisions. I also gave you property cards for you to look over that you'll be aware of when your reassessments are. Ms. Thomas, you'll be done this year for Quad 2, and Mr. Kaiser, yours will be done in Quad 3, which will be next year. The postcard that I gave each of you is for an upcoming public meeting taking place at Clark County Library on March 20th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. This is an open meeting for people to learn about the assessment process and to ask questions. I welcome and hope that each member will attend that meeting. My position as PVA is to hold up the Kentucky State Constitution, Section 172, which states that property to be assessed at fair cash value. Punishment of assessor for willful error. Fair cash value being defined as the estimated price it will bring at a voluntary sale. Now, as of January 1st of 2025, the following sales have occurred in Quad 2. There was a home on Red Wing that sold for $325,000. It's currently assessed at $190,000. We have a second home on Red Wing that sold for $260,000. Its current assessment is $185,000. Sunset Heights sold for $207,000. Its current assessment is $110,000. East Washington Street sold for $215,000, previously assessed at $71,000. South Main Street sold for $380,000. Its current assessment is $157,000. East Broadway sold for $360,000. It's currently assessed at $275,000. And I had one at Buffalo Trace that sold for $166,000, previously assessed at $101,000. Now I bring this up to you to let you know that the average assessment of value increase for the homes I just listed would be approximately $117,000. Multiplied by the current tax rate of 0.00984, that would add an additional $1,150 a year for county taxes, an additional $144 for city taxes to that property owner. Now I'm highlighting a small section of recent property sales to show that property values have not decreased coming into 2025. In fact, compared to their assessment values, in most cases, they've increased a great deal. The sales that I just described will be one of many factors that will go into the reassessment process. Now, my hope with this information is to encourage some dialogue between the two elected bodies to work together for the betterment of Clark County. I'm not here to say that school funding is not important. I'm here saying that money kept within the home is important as well, and one does not supersede the other. As always, my office door, my email, and my phone are always open, and I welcome the opportunity to dig deeper into all aspects of the assessment process and the calculation of the tax rate. I do hope you will take me up on this offer this year. As always, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Ms. Brady.
Miss Amanda Baker. You've got this. I'm excited to hear about this.
Well, this is not my thing, just so you all know ahead of time.
You're doing fine.
You already
I'm actually
started.
not even coming here today for me anymore. I'm coming on behalf of other Clark County children and their parents and their concerns, because my concern has already been met. So I came here today to speak on behalf of my student and others who felt the same way about the health and PE credit as I did. Since the program has already been approved for a summer option, I'm now here to speak on behalf of people in our community. A lot of the students want more than the minimum from high school. There are a lot of upperclassmen that also want this opportunity as well. Is there a way to offer it to those that want more so they don't have to drop a credit they'd like to continue? We had many bring up that they were going to have to drop something they were already on the pathway of doing to take that health and PE. So for kids that are having to drop something that they're really passionate about, I thought we could at least start with those students. I know that some athletes, but not all athletes, get a credit for PE, and even fewer of those that will get health credit through their athletic program. How is that decided, and can this be reevaluated to add more in to make sure they get that credit? I can't imagine any athlete not getting the PE credit, and if there was a way for them to add the health portion in, to find a better way for them to incorporate it. I think when you're doing, any kind of athletic program, you should be learning the health side of it so that you're not wiped out during your athletic program. So I think it would be good to add that health into there. This will allow them also to take extra credits towards the things they want to pursue later in life. And then lastly, and I know this can't change, so hear me out on this, but lastly, the required number of English, math, social studies, and science credits also prevents some from not getting all that they want out of their high school years. But they are finding coming on their senior year, some of their elective or pathway classes actually counted towards some of their mandatory credits. That's meaning they already got their 4 credits for some of these classes and they still have their whole senior year. So you have kids leaving halfway through the day or ending in December. Our goal is to keep them in the whole senior year. If we don't have kids in school, we don't have money coming in, right? So the goal should be to keep them in the whole year, not let them graduate early, in my opinion. So if we can, so example would be business pathway. It probably has a math class in it. That's a class that maybe they could skip math that year and be able to take a different elective or not have to drop an elective. Journalism will probably have an English class in it. They could drop one of their English classes in order to take that class in their journalism. And what that's going to do is allow students to continue on with like some of them want to do like cohort and pathway, and then they want to do an associate's degree or leave half the year, half the day for college classes or other classes that they want to take. So I think that would allow them the opportunity if they knew that they could drop that class and take it in that pathway class that year. So I don't think there's enough education for the students to understand that. And if we had a way for us to understand that, we could guide our students, because I know that you can't possibly hit every student with the number of people that you have at the school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you been to the high school, to this, the site-based council to talk to them about this?
No, this is my first time ever doing anything.
Yeah, because that might be, because we don't set anything like that.
Yeah.
And I know, I hear what you're saying, but definitely might be something. I'll pass this on to Ms. Harper, who is on the SBDM,
Okay.
and to say what your concerns are.
Okay.
So she can maybe talk to her, that particular.
And I know we still have to get all the credits, but I know sometimes when they hit their senior year, they no longer need some of the credits that were required because they've already achieved them.
Yes.
So our goal is to keep them
Yes.
the whole year.
Yes, my cousin across the street does that. Exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
I've had to talk to anybody that you feel would help.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. James Day.
Now,
You're up.
I'm just here on behalf of CCYA about the use of the field at Justice Field. I've been a coach in Clark County for 14 years. We've always used the Justice Field. I do know within the last 5 years we've not been Civitan. We've been Clark County Youth Athletics. I know that there's been some questions on how we do things. We do have, we've never offered football for over $75. Last year, we offered it for $50, and we also had a multi-family member discount. So it's been $50 since last year, and that could give you the use of 2 leagues. We play on Saturdays and Sundays. On Saturdays is our travel, so with the $50, our jerseys are actually $65, so we make nothing. I mean, well, most of it comes from support of the community. We get that from donations. We are a 501c3. I've been back for about 2 years now. I've been an active member. Our previous treasurer did not file the proper tax returns. She did state usage only. And so we're in the process now working with David Bush. He's already done all of our taxes. We just have to enter those in. And it's for 4 years. So it's like this thick. So we have to manually in a 2023 system into the IRS. So that's where we get our money. So we are a 501c3, and we get all our money from donations. I know that there has been a question about, there's a no compete. The middle school just started a 5th and 6th grade program, which has kind of got us here. Every year we've come back, we've asked for a lease to be put on the field, and prior members have done so. This year, there is a clause in there about the no compete, and that is about the 5th and 6th grade. We don't want to fight, we don't want to argue, but we are here to say that our parents have come to us and said, we're looking at what has been offered to the 7th and 8th grade in the past, and that's not something we want to do. Last year, we played 17 games. We went to Battle on Rocky Top, which is a national tournament. We had 450 kids in our organization for spring and flag just last year, doing cheer, flag, or tackle football. And we offer rec because we have to offer rec and travel. Travel, we're teaching kids to have good competition to compete for positions. Playing time's not guaranteed. In the rec, playing time's guaranteed. So therefore, you can get a kid that doesn't know if it's his thing, football's his thing, and he can go down to the rec program and play in the rec program to see if it's his thing. And you can do both of them for $50. Like I said, the jersey costs $65. That's not counting all the other equipment to recondition our helmets. A helmet's $180. Our pants that we use are $30, $25. I mean, there's a lot of cost, and we are not affiliated with any. We've never been affiliated. I've often said it. We're just a bunch of idiots that really want to do this for the kids. And because we put our necks out there and we get seen, and I know people have been mad at me for my videos on Facebook, but sometimes we don't know who to talk to. We have nobody. I could probably ask who's been to one of our games in Superintendent in the last 5 years.
Last year.
Great. And I don't know, what was your experience? That would be left.
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, my grandson plays in the rec league.
Mm-hmm. And we could have done better last year, and I'll be the first to admit, we've got some growth that we did, but with the travel program, we're spread thin. And we're kind of battling, we got an inner battle in Clark County. We've got another travel league that's left, that started, and it's kind of teamed up with the team with the high school coach. They're called the Wild Cards, and there's a spinoff of our group. And they were able to host their games at the high school, and they had concessions that they did for their home games at the high school.
I'll have to stop you there, Jimmy. We can't talk about other organizations if they're not here, if it's not your organization.
Okay. Well, our organization had a championship game this year from the 127. We were able to use the field at the high school, but we're not allowed to do concessions or raise any money. So can't speak of what other teams have done, but we weren't able to fundraise with our concession stand there. The money from the gate did not go to us. It actually went to the 127 that we're a part of, which is an organization, it's a conference in which we play. That's Woodford County, Anderson County, Mercer County, Danville, West and East Jessamine. I'm missing a bunch.
Frankfort, Madison County.
Yeah, Frankfort, Madison County. So, the thing that we're here for, though, is just the use of the field. I understand that there's a non-compete with the 5th and 6th grade. There's kids in this community that go to Calvary Christian, that go to private school. They're 5th and 6th graders that go. We have a flag program that we won't be able to do now. We were told we could do it this year for spring, but we can't do it after that for any grades over 4th grade. So we won't be able to do that because of this no compete for 5th and 6th grade. And it's really, we just want to continue to do what we've done. Our parents like it. They've reached out to us and said, we want you to still do it. We're pushing forward. We want your support and being able to play out there because that's the only attachment that we really have. We're self-sufficient. We mow the field. We have a big, huge trailer out there. We've got a lawnmower out there. We mow the field. We weed eat the field. We take care of the field out there. We actually, for the last 5 years, since 2020, and since we've been CCY, have actually helped the middle school set up and mark their field every year. We just go out there, we pull out the pins, we mark the field, we strike the field. And one year in 2021, we did it for the practice field at the high school. So we want to work with people. The thing about it is I haven't got any phone calls. And I think it was kind of a desperation because I had reached out to one of the contacts I had, but I hadn't gotten any response back. So I didn't know what to do other than we're gonna put it out there.
Your time's
on the
up.
video. So,
I'll let you go a little over, but your time's up, buddy.
all right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr.
Miss Jessica Hopper.
Hello.
Hey, Ms. Jessica.
I like shoes.
I'm actually a member of the CCY board as well as a football mom. So I'm also here on behalf of the field. I'm coming to you just asking for reconsideration of the addendum that's been put into our lease. We are not trying to compete with the school, with the middle school. I hope the middle school has the most successful year they've ever had. I have a son who will be a 6th grader in the fall. This would be his last year in the 127. This would be his last year with his coaches that have had him for 5 years. I talked to him, what do we want to do? You want to do with 127, you want to go to RDC? Whichever you want to do, we're going to do. I want to stay with my coaches from my last year, Mom. We had 100 5th and 6th grade boys last fall between between rec and travel. 100 boys. I don't see how one team is going to be able to accommodate that. There are more than enough kids in this county to make sure that the middle school and our organization can play. Why take this from these kids? It's the kids who are going to suffer from this. Not everybody is going to get a chance to play on the RDC team. Like Jimmy was saying, we have private school kids, we have homeschool kids, we have kids from different counties that come and play because they don't have that offered in their county. The kids are the ones who are going to suffer from this. They're going to get lost, they're not going to have a place to go. It's not just sports. It is a community within our organization. We're there to support these kids. We have our kids out working in the community to give back. It's not just football, it's not just cheer. It's teaching them to be a part of something bigger than that. It's giving them a place where they feel safe, a place where they belong, a place where they learn teamwork, a place where they learn problem solving. Everything you're going to need growing up and being out in the world. That is what we're trying to give these kids. It's not just football and cheer. It's about way more than that. And it's these kids that are going to suffer if we take it from them. And I'm really asking you to please reconsider that. There are more than enough kids for everywhere, for anybody. And I really hope that RDC has the best season ever, both of them. I don't know Mr. Sherrock, Coach Sherrock personally. I do know Coach Johns. They did a lineman camp during the winter, him and his son. My son attended that. Absolutely loves Coach Johns. From what I understand, they're going to be great coaches for that school. And I can't wait until my son does graduate from CCYA and can be a part of that. But at this point, it's his last year, and he wants to do it with his teammates that he's been a part of for 5 years with the coaches that he knows and adores. It's the last season he's going to have to do that. Please don't take that from him. Don't take that from all of them. It's not okay. Thank you for the consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am going to turn this meeting over to you while I go to a mandatory meeting for my child real quick, and I will be back here shortly.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Dora.
You're welcome. Okay. Our next agenda item will be student learning and instructional services. Ms. Kelly Fithen, is she here tonight?
She is.
There she is.
She's coming around the corner.
Okay, good evening. I'm excited for our instructional spotlight tonight to be on Strode Station Elementary. So at this time, I'm going to pass it over to Ms. Anitria Costin, the principal of Strode Station, and Jordan Fultz, the assistant principal.
Did we clap now or wait for the presentation? There we go. All right. We'll make sure there's an introduction there.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Then we have our support crew here.
Good matching shirts and everything. I
We
like
did,
it.
you know, we have to wear an elementary, we plan our
Ah, it's the swag. It's all about the
That's just the way
swag.
we roll, yes. All right, good evening. I'm Anitria Costin. I'm the principal at Strode Station Elementary, and I have with me Jordan Fultz, who's the assistant principal, and we have some teachers here with us tonight. We're talking about our big rocks, our goals for Strode Station for the 24-25 school year. When we first started out, Ms. Fithen and Mr. Howard, they're like, okay, what are your goals? And so Jordan, Ms. Fultz and I, we sat down, we're like, okay, what are our goals for the school year? So we talked about it a little bit, but then we said, okay, let's talk to our leadership team. and say, okay, leadership team, what do you think our goals should be for the school year? Because they're the ones in the classroom, they're the ones in the trenches with the kiddos and see it from the other side from us. So we sat down, we came up with 3 goals over the summer, which was congruence, differentiation, and monitoring. Now, that was the summer where everything's golden and you have these great plans of how things are gonna go. But once we got into the classroom, we started seeing, you know what, we need to narrow our focus a little bit more. And so in November, we met with the entire staff and we said, okay, what do you all think our focus should be based on the data that we're receiving from our kiddos? So we're looking at iReady data and the KSA data to see, okay, where do we need to focus? And so with that, the school as a whole decided we need to focus on differentiation. How are we meeting the needs of all of the kiddos in our building? And so that has been our focus from November on out. It has been differentiation. We'll hand it over to Ms. Bolts.
I think Ms. Costin explained everything I was going to.
I told him today I'll talk a lot.
No, but really our instructional spotlight moving on really ties in with differentiation. Our big rock is differentiation, so should be our instructional spotlight, because that is what's really allowing us to meet students' needs. So we agree that differentiation should not just be for our students, but also for our staff. So when we meet, we're thinking about different needs for our staff and really getting their opinion on, okay, what do we need to do differently at every grade level to make sure we're meeting needs? So what better way to explain that than to bring the experts themselves? So we have brought leadership from every grade level to really explain what we're doing instead of Ms. Costin and I babbling to you all, because they really know what's going on. So Jennifer Kelly from kindergarten is going to go first.
I don't know if she was going first.
I know. All right, you know, when she asked us what we do to differentiate, and I was like, I mean, primary, I think it just comes natural. We differentiate all the time. So I chose one main thing. We started just recently differentiating our phonics instruction. And so we kind of started basically like we set up literacy liftoff this summer, and we looked at all of our kids, what they've mastered, all the phonics skills they've mastered, and then we grouped them according to the phonics skills they need to work on. And with all the kindergarten teachers, all the kindergarten staff working together, we've been able to create smaller groups for the kids that really need that extra focus and attention. We've been able to put our resources with the kids that need that extra attention. We just started this right after Christmas break, but already we're seeing confidence building in our students, a little more independence, a little more participation during class. We're really enjoying it, and I think the kids are really enjoying it. And you know, we haven't been in school long enough to do any major assessments yet, but we feel really good about what we're seeing our students do in kindergarten. So.
Hi, my name is Misty Wilson. I teach first grade, and I'm going to piggyback off exactly what she said because she covered the same thing that we do. They had just started it at Christmas. First grade started doing their phonics the way kinder has at the beginning of the year, and we started the same as them. We assessed our students based off of specific concepts that they needed all the way back to kinder, and we used all of that data to group them based off the skills that they needed. This helps us fill in any gaps that they have. We get to meet them on their level and then above their level, and we're more intent with our instruction. We get to drill down and focus more on it. Our groups are flexible. They come in and out all the time, and we communicate consistently as a team to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all of our students. So far, we have some phenomenal growth. I am going to brag on us. We have grew a lot, and these kiddos, they're amazing. If you could see what all they could do now, it's awesome. And we are very excited to see the growth that they continue to make to the end of the year.
I'm Anna Estrada. I'm a second grade teacher at Strode, and we are kind of similar in kinder and first, but different. We're different. We have 2 grade levels that we kind of go back. So we do a stallion time where we try to differentiate and meet those needs of those skills that were maybe they need some kinder skills, they need some first grade skills, and we do that. As well as we still do tier 1 instruction in our own homeroom classroom. So we're still giving them that standard in-depth learning for second grade, as well as differentiating and providing those target supports in stallion time. And we've seen a lot of growth and being able to move kids during our stallion time from one group to another, being able to switch them once we get them assessed and all of that, and still being able to do that tier 1 instruction as a homeroom class. And so this really helps, this balanced approach for us in second grade. It helps us keep those learning gaps closed, and so that way we can kind of reach, okay, this group needs this set of skills, that group, but not completely forgetting those second grade standards in phonics. So, but we've seen a lot of growth. We enjoy it. It's good because we get to mix and mingle with all the other kids that we don't have in our homeroom class, and it's just a fun time because you get to get those kids and you get to enjoy them, but then you get your kids and focus on those tier 1 instruction goals. So.
My name is Caitlin Miller, and I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Strode Station. In 3rd grade, we have used data to ability group our students for the content areas of reading and math. We believe that grouping students by ability can be a powerful differentiation strategy that tailors instruction to meet diverse learning needs. By organizing students into blocks based on their skill levels, we have been able to scaffold instruction and place support staff where needed. The 3rd grade team has had to implement this approach thoughtfully and with a growth mindset, ensuring that we're centered around student engagement, confidence, and achievement. This customized learning experience has helped meet learners where they are and guide them in reaching their full potential.
Hi, my name is Ashley Thomas, and I teach 4th grade math at Strode Station. In 4th grade, we try to differentiate in a few different ways. One way is during our stallion time, so that's some of the older grades that we do stallion time with. We have 6 groups of students for about 40 minutes in the morning, and we base that off of their achievement, their I-Ready scores, their GRLs, lots of different focus areas that we look at to figure out where they would best, where we can meet their needs the best. So our tier 2 and tier 3 students are in really small groups. We try to keep those really small, 5, 6 students. They're getting really, really individualized instruction during that time. It's really focused on meeting their needs. The other groups are getting instruction based on their standards. Some of our highest achieving students, they're getting enrichment. We kind of focus on, with our enrichment, we focus on like a more horizontal approach to giving them something that's not just a vertical learning experience, but more of a horizontal learning experience where they're getting exposed to new things. So we also differentiate in reading and math groups, using I-Ready groups, I-Ready mastery, standards masteries. We give quizzes, and then we group them based on the students who need extra practice for specific learning skills and standards. This makes our groups more fluent, and we can be more intentional about our standards that the students need. We can work on those more specifically in the classroom to better meet those needs of those students.
Finish with the legend.
I'll let you know you've been doing it a long time, right? Can't get rid of me. Well, I'm Laura Wilson. I'm the music teacher at Strode Station, and I'm going to talk about the Related Arts team. And Related Arts encompasses music, art, PE, library, and STEM. So just by the nature of what we do, it's very diverse, and we are meeting needs in a lot of different ways, other than the ways they are met in traditional classrooms, because that's what we do. So of course with PE, we've got fitness, we've got athletics, she's got some adaptive equipment. In music, variety of instruments, including adaptive instruments for those who need it. With STEM, they're doing hands-on projects, technology, she's got using all of that. In art, it's the artistic mediums our art teacher gets into blow my mind all the time. And then in library, of course, focusing on literacy, she has books, she has audio books, she has bilingual books. I do bilingual instruction when needed. We really try to reach the needs of all of our kids because we teach all of our kids. We have every child in our school every week. And so it's a joy. It is a challenge sometimes, but we also have a great team. And the teachers here are so incredible to work with, to give us feedback if we're like, what do we need to do to better serve this child? So anyway, feel honored to be here for that, but thank you.
Okay, I'll close really quick by letting you all know that we set out with a purpose of being really intentional this year, and we're going to continue that intentionality throughout the year and next year too, so that we could further grow our students. And I keep joking with them saying, I'm going to get a tattoo that says intentional on me somewhere, because we talk about it so often that we have got to be intentional with our kiddos. But thank you so much for listening to us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you all for telling us about Stroud Station. So we need to go back up to our minutes approval from the January 28th meeting, 2025 meeting. Ashley Ritchie Rowland was on virtual, but she did not vote. So we need to
Re-vote.
re-vote.
We looked at that last time. With Robert's Rules of Order, she can vote and approve the minutes.
She can?
Yeah.
Okay, she's the one that told me to go back.
Okay.
So we're good then?
You're good.
At this point? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome, thank you.
I know
Ms.
that's been the board's custom, but it's not necessary.
It's not necessary, okay, perfect, okay. Are you, so we're good, okay. All right, our next agenda item is within the Student Support Services, and it is the Acknowledgement of Wellness Policy, Nutrition, and Physical Activity Report by Ms. Nelson.
Hey there, Ms. Nelson here. Good evening. I am accompanied by the lovely Dr. Jenna Muncie here as well, so we're going to kind of tag team this nutrition and physical activity report just to share some information with the community about some of the awesome things that we do in our school system to promote student well-being.
So one of the requirements that the state has is that every district have a wellness policy. I'm going to give you just a heads up here. This is not reader friendly, and we're not going to read every word to you, but we're going to hit the highlights for you. One of the reasons why it's near and dear to my heart as the school nutrition director is the fact that even though nutrition is a small part of this report, I am accountable on my triennial review, and next year's an audit year, so I want to make sure that I do everything correctly. The requirements include a wellness committee, which we have, the nutrition and physical activity report, a public forum that we held last month, discuss some findings with you, and then Mr. Howard will present a wellness plan to KDE by May 1st.
Yeah, and the overall purpose for this type of regulation is we know that the better health that an individual has, the more optimally they will be functioning. So we know better health for our students equals better learners. So that's our goal overall. So we're going to share some information with you. So one of the things that we do annually is we ask for updated data from all of our schools through what they call the Healthier Generation Report. So this allows school leaders and administrators to go through basically a survey with their team and indicate certain areas that they feel like they are performing very well and they are fully implementing, but then also identify some areas for growth. So we know we're always looking for ways to improve and do better. So this particular survey helps us to do that. So some of the big celebrations that we found from our most recent survey is we have observed some notable increases in the areas of policy and environment around health and wellness for students and staff, and then more specifically some increases in the area of employee wellness. So our school district offers a number of benefits to staff that promotes their overall mental and physical well-being. We also had several items that were endorsed as fully or mostly by our schools. So looking at our start times, looking at having a school nurse available in all of our buildings full time, providing counseling, psychological services to our students across all buildings, and then ensuring that we have health assessments available for staff. So those are some of the big wins for us here in Clark County. Some areas for growth, so things that as a wellness committee, we're going to put some our Strode peeps left, but we're going to get intentional about these particular areas for growth. So looking at things that we're doing outside of the school hours, ensuring that they meet our nutritional standards, looking at physical activity opportunities that we have available, looking at professional development for our classroom teachers, and then I think a biggie for a lot of adults currently in the world, stress management programs is something we all need to grow and work on. So as a committee, we'll be focused on those things.
Some of our district school nutrition information. Hopefully you saw our district Facebook page, which released our flyer, and it had a lot of this wonderful information. We are a full CEP district, and we're very proud of that. It means all students in Clark County get a free breakfast and a free lunch. In addition to that, we participate in 4 federal grant programs. National School Lunch Program, which includes breakfast. We also participate in the Child and Adult Care Food Program, which is new to us this year. When we took on aftercare, it allows us to give the kids a snack and a supper. We're very proud of that. With the Summer Food Service Program, continue that this year. I've got a training all day in Frankfurt today to host that again this coming summer. And then the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Grant, pretty proud of that. That's a new one, not to Clark County. We've done it in the past, but we've been several years since we've done that. And it's only for elementary schools, but all 4 of our elementary schools get a fresh fruit or vegetable 3 days a week in the afternoon, and there's an educational component to it. So the staff has to be willing to talk about that in some way, shape, or form. And then we're also trying to go out of our way to buy local. So I try to make sure that I try to find farmers that are producing something that's within 100 miles of us.
Awesome. We also wanted to highlight, I'm going to go through these next few slides pretty quickly. We reached out to all of our buildings, and we just asked for input, like what are some of the awesome things that you guys are doing that may not be reflected in this more formal survey that we might be able to highlight and talk about. So we have a lot of different things going on throughout our district. Baker has a number of different physical activity opportunities that they provide their students. We have character lessons. Even looking at things like internet safety, personal hygiene, healthy choices. When we're working with that group and age of students, those particular health aspects become really important to how we develop. You can go on to the next slide. We have several things offered at our elementary and our middle school as well. So again, the thing that you're going to notice as you look at all of these highlights is we have opportunities that benefit our student population, but we also have opportunities that benefit our staff population as well. And we're looking at various components of health and wellness. So we're looking at things related to nutrition, physical wellness, and mental wellness. So the whole child. So as we look through these, those are going to be the highlights that you're going to take away. And then I think the next slide looks at some of the various things that Justice is offering as well. So we have a variety of things. Our buildings are out there providing great offerings to our students, our staffs, and our families as well, which is important because we know when we think about the whole child, the health of that child is not just isolated to that being, but it extends out into their family and their community. So really our goal is a healthy community overall.
We held our public forum in January, and we were quite pleased. We announced to the public that if you wanted to come by and speak to us about anything to do with nutrition or physical activity, we were available from 5 to 6 p.m. before the January board meeting. And we did have 4 community members show up and 2 of our board members, so we were very pleased. The group that showed up was very, they wanted to talk about the swim. They were very, very proud of what we have done in our community with Parks and Recreation. And they shared their vision of a drown-proof Clark County. Their data shows that over 400 preschoolers in the 4-year-old class have taken swimming lessons. They are very hopeful that we will continue that program in the fall, even though we've moved to a new school. They really wanted to make sure we said that. I thought it was impressive that we have a swim team, a competitive swim team here in Winchester that has over 100 of our students on that team. And many of them did also compete on the GRC team as well. And I really enjoyed speaking with them. We emailed back and forth, and the biggest thing that I told them, I said, I want to make sure I represent you and say what you want. And they said their big vision would be obviously to continue those swimming lessons, consider adding exceptional children to that program, And then they said if you want to look even bigger than that, would we ever consider adding learning to swim as a physical education curriculum standard? So some action steps. One of the things that we, just listening to them and then just talking to our schools, we realized we needed to share the actual USDA policies on smart stacks and the competitive foods and vending machines with our principals. We have a lot of new principals, so we just need to educate them on some of those rules. I think I got a message the other day, hey, can I give students a pop as a incentive and as a bring to lunch? And it's like, unfortunately, no, you can't. It's not my rule, it's a USDA rule. So we just realized we need to educate on that. If a fundraising, you have to do it 30 minutes outside of the lunch hour and up to like 6 a.m. in the morning. There's all kinds of rules for that. So we just need to educate on those.
Yes, and also, so working with our Director of Community Schools Initiatives, Ms. Christy Bush, to really just help make sure that we're doing, again, all the things that we possibly can do to really have the greatest impact across our community. And then maybe recruiting some additional members to our Wellness Committee. So right now, it's really consists of mainly district personnel, so looking at how are we intentionally pulling in feedback from our building administrators and our building staff, because they're going to come with great ideas and bring some great options to the table. And again, continuing to collaborate, like Dr. Betsy said, with our Parks and Rec, looking at being intentional with our professional learning opportunities, specifically for our teachers who teach physical and health ed. And then really looking at that overall PD for staff, ensuring that they have an understanding of what the regulations and the expectations and strategies that we can promote wellness in our classrooms every day, all day.
And then we want to increase our breakfast participation. We do know that's one of the most important meals of the day. Get those schools and those children in their building in the mornings, ready to go, ready to learn. I think Hunger Free Kentucky's going to be reaching out to you if they haven't yet, because they called me yesterday and they're really proud of Clark County. We are one of the few districts in the state that have over 5 schools that do either breakfast in the classroom or a second chance. So those are opportunities that think outside the box of coming just in the cafeteria and sitting down for breakfast. Even though we do that, our numbers still aren't what we would like them to be. Elementary schools are running about 80%, which is wonderful because they are allowed to eat breakfast in the classroom. Because you are allowed to have up to, I think it's 15 or 20 minutes, you may know more than I do, instructional time while serving breakfast in a classroom. But we would like to see that higher. Obviously, the older students that get, I think GRC is a little bit lower. It's maybe in the 50% rating on breakfast, even though lunch is way higher. So what can we do to increase that? And next week is National School Breakfast Week, so I've already emailed the principals and said, please help us promote this and get the word out and encourage students to come get a healthy meal.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think for us, in closing, obviously, if there's any questions, we'd be happy to take those. But I'd also encourage you all, if you have any ideas for the Wellness Committee or particular focuses or collaborations, reach out to Jen and I, and we'd be happy to consider any input that you guys have.
Those grants you talked about, are they federal or state grants?
They're all federal
They're all
grants.
federal?
Mhm.
There's no chance of
I
losing
like
them
to
with
joke
some-
that I work for like 5 different bosses. I have a USDA boss, a Kentucky Department of Ag boss, I have a superintendent, plus I have a KDE boss. I have lots of bosses.
With all the cuts of grants and things going on in the federal government, that hadn't affected any of that?
No, not yet. There was concern there when it first came out. People were really, really scared. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't. We're going to feed children.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me the federal government's not going to feed children. It's been around since I think 1947. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was in the 40s. So they're going to feed children. Our biggest concern right now that we're fighting, and I'm getting ready to go to Washington, D.C. to help with that fight, is CEP numbers. They're wanting to change some funding on CEP, and if they do that and they raise the bar to what's called 60% direct certification, and it's a lot to it, but for the record, we're only 59%. So if they do that, we would have to go back to the old-fashioned household income forms for free and reduced lunch. And not just us, it would affect almost the entire state. So we are really trying to fight to keep that from happening. Because right now, the bar's pretty low. It's like if you have over 25% of your community that is in direct cert, which is they're in SNAP, TANF, any foster care, homeless, migrant, those types of things, you qualify, but it's got tiered rates. Tiered rates. So we're not at the highest tiered rate, but at 59%, we're really close. But if they make the bar 60, wouldn't make the cut. Sure, ask a question.
What if we were to push lunch back later so that they can have that breakfast a little bit later? Would that allow more opportunity? Because a lot of these kids don't have dinner till 6 or 7, so if they're having lunch at 11, that's 7 or 8 hours. Just a thought.
That's truly, there again, that's a school-based decision-making policy. You'd have to talk to them. Most of them have those spread apart based on their schedule. And there are some that are as early as you said, 11, a little bit before even, 10:40, I know, I didn't want to say it. And then there are a couple that go maybe as close as a little after 1. And it's really just a matter, and that's everywhere in the state. You can't go to a school in the state that they don't have that spread. It's just trying to work it in.
Are you guys gonna read that, the top of that last slide?
Go for it!
There it is.
Just for you.
Hey, I know this thing.
Stand in for you. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all so much. I'll ask Mr. Jamie King to come in so we can consider approval of application for change in school assignment 09.11.AP22.
Good evening. This is just a request for approval of the change in our procedure for changing school assignment. It affects the 4 elementary schools. So currently, if a student is on a change in school assignment, they have to resubmit the paperwork every year that they want to do that. The change in this will make it mirror our non-resident procedure to where they are automatically enrolled. It rolls over unless the parent requests not to, or if maybe that privilege may be revoked by the school based on attendance, behavior, or grades.
So with this, and this would start next school year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you all have any questions?
No, it looks pretty clear to me. Did you get it?
Oh, yeah.
So this is a form we're approving?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve of the application for change in school assignment.
All right, and have a motion by Mr. Kaiser.
And I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Okay, I'll ask Mr. Brandon Watkins to come and, so that we can consider approval of the district facility plan public hearing report.
So you guys have that document. Part of the district facility plan process is once everything is done and it is board approved, we hold a public hearing on it. We did so last week on February the 14th. Mr. Eaton, our facilitator, handled that, and you have a copy of the hearing report. It has to be board approved for us to send to the Kentucky Department of Education.
And Mr. Watkins, was there anything in the report that you were concerned about, or do you feel like it was reflecting on what the district needs?
Yes, all he did was go over the DFP that you all approved. There were no public attendees, so there were no comments or anything brought up.
I think that we met, didn't I meet him the day of the meeting or something like that?
You did, down at KSBA, I introduced you, yes.
Okay. Do you all have any questions for Mr. Watkins?
No, I've already read it. It sounded good to me, so.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Do I have a motion to approve the hearing report? Okay,
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Kaiser makes a motion, and I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Just real quick, since Ms. Rowland is not here, is there anything we need to do in the minutes to reflect that she's not here voting?
For those two votes.
We just have it reflect that she can step out.
Step out, okay, all right. All right, our next agenda item is our finance and human resource update. I'll ask Ms. Ellis to come and give us our financial update.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So in looking at our revenues and expenses compared to this time last year, we are again pretty close. We're 1% higher in revenue collections and 2% higher in expenditures. But again, that is right on track. Tax collections, we are, at the time of January, we were at 98% property, 14% franchise, 42% motor vehicle. But since then, the monies that came in the 1st of February, which you will see on the report next month, we're actually at 101% of our property tax collection, so we have collected more than what we projected. We make very conservative projections so that we don't miss the mark, but it's fantastic that at this point we are already over that mark. We're at 53% on our franchise. That's one that you just never know the timing of when you're going to make those collections, because that's on tangible property. So that's with businesses paying on their property taxes and all that. So taxes are all going on right now. People are filing taxes. So that kind of trickles in as people get their taxes filed. And then motor vehicle is at 49% right now. So we're tracking really good on our tax collections, which is the bulk of our budget. So good news there. Any questions on any revenues, expenditures?
Any questions?
We're going to talk about discussion items, a couple BG5s, our tentative allocations, standard consent items, our booster agreements, fundraisers, surplus. So that is the overview of finance.
Okay, thank you. No questions, then we'll move on to authorizing payment of salaries and accounts payable. And I need a motion to approve and authorize payments of salary and accounts.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Kaiser, and I can second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. The next agenda item is consider approval of the BG5 closeouts. And do you all have any questions about those or what those are? Those are for our construction.
Yes, so that is, BG5 is the last step of the construction process. So we're finalizing what we spent, what we, money-wise of how we paid for it, and if there's any, what we call residuals or leftovers. So we're closing out 5 projects, and with those 5, that frees up $133,000 that we can use on future capital projects.
Okay, all right.
That's a really good thing.
That's a really good thing. I think there's so many people in the room, I just wanted to,
No,
talk about it. So we get excited when there's people here. There's usually not a lot of people here, so we love it.
Welcome to the family, right?
So we'll need to make a motion to approve the BG5 closeouts.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Ms. Thomas makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And second by Mr. Kaiser. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. And then the next item is consider approval of FY 25-26 tentative SBDM staffing allocations.
So this is the first step in the process of our staffing allocations for next school year. So we basically took the numbers of their enrollment of what they are staffed on this year, which was finalized in September. We do a third look at all of the enrollment numbers and their staff. And so that's what the 9/11/24 numbers are. 12/18 is the numbers that we pulled for this comparison to see kind of where they sit and what we created this staffing allocation on. So, and with that, the actual allocations themselves as far as ratios has not changed from when we were here last year having this discussion. The biggest change that you're going to see is that we have added BSP, which is behavioral support teachers, and instructional assistants to each of our schools. So you see that added into their allocation. And really otherwise, everything is pretty close to the same. It's just the numbers of how the ratios have fallen out.
When you said behavioral support teachers, what was the second thing you said?
An instructional assistant.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. I've looked at those, and do either of you have questions about the allocation, staffing allocation?
Stand there.
How about you, Carl?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay, and this, you said this is the first step, so this is.
Yeah, so this is the first step. They have to provide these to their councils March 1st. So a lot of them have already, we've all met as principals, admin team, so they're, discussing these with their councils already in their meetings. And then the next step will be back at the April meeting, we'll do an adjusted one that they have to present May 1st, and that's what they'll start the school year with.
Okay. All right, so, we'll need to, make a motion to approve the FY 25-26 tentative SBD and staffing allocation.
I'll make a
Okay, Mr. Kaiser makes the motion, and I'll second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, Ms. Ellis.
Thank you, Ms. Ellis, yes. So we'll go on to number 1 under internal board business. We are, there's no one listed there, so do you just want me to talk about?
I could just say that traditionally, every year, we really try to celebrate our GRC graduates. We also try to provide a safe environment after graduation for our graduates. And we really do it up big time.
Yeah.
The staff are there. It's really a great program. We keep them there pretty much all night. They're supervised if there's games. They get to hang out with their friends for the last time and look around the room. Some of us remember graduation and we didn't talk to people after that, right? So, but again, for us, it also keeps kids safe. But to do it the right way, the board has always chose to fund that, to help fund that at a $5,000 clip. And so I very much support the board continuing that, but again, that's why you guys vote on it.
So I happen to be a parent of a senior this year, and I'm on this planning committee, and Miss Christy Jones, has done so much work. If you all know her, she's fantastic. Miss Amy Harper is also, they're spearheading this, and they'll make sure that every senior who attends gets a swag bag, and they have they're raising donations for gift cards for each of the seniors to have that. So I think it's a great program, and the $5,000 goes towards it is a very large number to put it on, because they have games, they have food, they get and they can bring, the senior can bring a friend, let's say if they don't go there, they just have to get approval. So it's just really a cool
It is, and they're
time.
locked in for the night, so you don't
Yeah.
have kids that are there and then leaving. So again, as a dad of a senior also, my kid will be going to this.
Yes, yeah.
And I supervised it for years when I was a teacher and staff at GRC. And the struggle will be for the teachers the next day and staying up, especially when you're an old man like me and go to bed at 9:45. But it's going to be great. So thank you.
And they do ask for parent support too, to go help out.
My
so.
kid said I can't come. We'll see how that goes.
Well, I told my son I was going, and he probably won't go, but I'll go help out, so whatever. So I'll make, unless you all have questions, I'll make a motion to approve the funding for the GRC project graduation in the amount of $5,000.
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kaiser. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. I would like to call a short recess because I know Ms. Rowland wants to be here for the next agenda item. I'm going to find out how far away she is. And also we just need a short break. So we'll be back. What time is it?
7:23.
7:23.
So we'll be back at 7:35, and hopefully Ms. Rowland
Call the meeting. You want to finish that part?
Back to order.
Since you're the chair, I'll let you go.
Yeah, so I apologize. I caught something, got like a cold or something going on. So we're calling our meeting back to order at 7:36. Our next agenda item is consider approval of MOA between CCPS and CCYA for use of field beside Justice Elementary School. And I'll ask Mr. Brandon Watkins to come and speak to us about this.
Absolutely. So you guys have the MOA there for review for the Clark County Youth Athletics to use the Justice football field for grade up to 4th grade.
So, just to ask some questions, do we have other MOUs or MOAs with other community community programs like this?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Carl, do you have a question? Or?
So we don't have any memorandums of understanding with any others. We just got some other type of things, but we really don't have any other things being used except for like FCU or something like that would have.
All of our other facility agreements or rentals all go through just a standard facility use form that's a board policy.
Standard of use, is that what you said?
It's a facility rental agreement.
Facility rental, okay. So why are, I guess my question is, why are we wanting to put this into place for this specific group? Is there something motivating that, or?
I guess we've had it in the past here, and I was requested to put it back on the board agenda for review, so.
Okay, all right.
And I'm the facility guy, so.
You are our facility guy, and we appreciate that, so,
And we had one with them last year.
That's correct.
And we changed it from the 5th, 6th grade to the 4th grade.
It really didn't have any parameters on it.
It didn't have no parameters, okay.
Previously. And so this year with us starting a 5th and 6th grade football team,
Yeah.
you know, that was kind of the
Right.
rationale for putting through 4th grade, you know. So we still hope to partner with them and allow them to use that field to have their league on.
So I'm just gonna be transparent. I think that there's only 3 of the board members here, and I am not clear, I'm speaking for myself, but I do not know what Mr. Dorsey's opinion is on this, or Ms. Ritchie Garland. And I think, I'm not sure how Mr. Kaiser and Ms. Thomas feel about maybe tabling this until March.
I think so.
Is that something we can do? Is to make sure that all 5 of us are here to have a good conversation with all 5 board members?
You guys are the Board of Education.
Yeah,
You
because
do whatever
we
you want
are,
at this point.
the reason is, I just found out about this yesterday afternoon, and honestly, my son's just never played football. It's not been something he's ever been interested in. I know that field, I mean, Ms. Rowland knows so much more about the sports aspect of the whole system, and I just want to make sure that we are doing what's best personally. And
I agree.
So-
I agree with you. I think we need to maybe learn a little more about it and kind of research it.
Sure.
Table it till next time.
Yeah, I really feel like we need to have all 5 members. I don't feel comfortable making a motion to approve it or not approve it without having all 5 of us here, because it feels like a very important decision that is going to affect the community, affect kids, and then of course we're here for the kids, number 1. So that's how I feel. Do you all, Mr. Cosner, do you have anything to say?
I'm fine. If we want to table it till next time, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Ms. Thomas, do you have anything?
No, I'm good, and I'll be glad to make the motion for it.
Okay, so you'd like to make a motion to table this until March 25th
Yes.
meeting, okay? I can second that motion. So make the motion is to table the approval until the March regular meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And none opposed. So the, the approval is to, what's the word? I was doing so good.
Table it.
Thank you,
Table it.
thank you. Table it until the March regular meeting. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Watkins.
Just a second, Ms. Watkins. So, but when we do talk about it again, the date, I mean, that's not till June, correct? Is what, that, because they've still under one for last year,
I
right?
believe that's correct.
Still under that.
July 1 would be the new, that's when our calendar switches over.
Okay.
So we'll be able to play this spring flag football with our kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, you all got the MOU.
Everything's fine.
You got
Yes,
the
ma'am,
MOU.
that would have not changed tonight, no matter what the.
We just want to make sure
Yeah.
before we start.
You guys are ready to rock and roll. Flag it up.
Great. We want to make sure. Thank you all so
You're very welcome.
much. We appreciate it.
And I don't think the intent was to change anything as far as not having a league or anything like that. Clark County, the board, has directed us to expand opportunities for our students. So adding a 5th and 6th grade team was expanding opportunities for our students. With all of our fields, there's only so many hours in the day and the time slots that folks can use them. So that's just, why that request was made to bring that MOA back to you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a question on that. You say expand?
She's running the meeting, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's your
Never
question?
mind. Never mind.
And if, you.
So you said expand 5th and 6th, we already have 5th and 6th, what are we expanding them to?
Expanding the team, is that what you?
We have a 5th and 6th grade, and he said we're expanding to 5th and 6th.
I think what he meant was expanding, it's more of a broad term, not necessarily expanding it.
Expanding in the school system.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I will tell you that I.
In Clark County Public Schools, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Costa,
No.
you might say it better.
What Brandon was saying is Clark County Public Schools is expanding into a 5th and 6th grade team. I understand that we have the 5th and 6th grade in New Orleans Lake.
Only in limiting that too, it not only does tackle, but it also does the flag
Flags
and
and
everything
all,
else, which goes way deeper into the things that we do, our organization,
Yeah.
valuable beyond just the tackle football.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can I say one more thing? Sorry. We also have other leagues in this community that goes on to be on 5th and 6th grade. And we're known for, we have baseball that's in RDC that has, we have leagues that are in this community that offers all the way up to 16. And if we are standard to keep it at 5th, can't go past 4th grade, there's all kinds of people, homeschool kids, private school kids that cannot play. And that's our concern, completely.
Including
And I want
kids.
you all to get that.
I'll address just a little bit.
If you don't, yeah, we just want to more
We've
understand.
tabled it till next time.
Yes.
Our email addresses, all of us' email addresses are on the board website. Send us an email.
Okay.
Tell us
We
what you think.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And our phone numbers are on there too. So,
Okay.
the reason we want to do that is so that we all have a better understanding of what's going on, so that we make the best decision possible for all the kids in Clark County. So,
We really appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next agenda item is consider approval of funding for Clark County students to attend the Global Amazing Shake competition not to exceed $6,700. I'll let the room clear out and ask Ms. Murphy to come up.
You don't hear about Miss Murphy's things?
I am.
I mean, pretty special. They're pretty special. I didn't mean to call you out like that, I apologize. I just couldn't help it.
The Amazing Shake is awesome, so. Okay, Mr. Murphy.
Okay. So this item is to consider approval to send students to the Global Amazing Shake competition that's held in Atlanta. So this is a competition we've had in Clark County since 2018. We've sent students in the past to the national competition, and we're actually this week we've been hosting our district competition, and so we've really tried to be intentional this year in tying each of our rounds of competition to our Clark County Portrait of a Learner. And so this would just provide students with opportunities to showcase these competencies at the national level.
Yeah. And my therapist went or they were going to RDC, and I said, there's gonna be a lot of people out there this week.
Yeah.
And they didn't believe me until they came back. And
Yeah,
like,
most of it was a lot.
Yeah, that was the day they went. I was like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Okay.
Yep.
All right, does anyone have any questions for Ms. Murphy?
No, I think it's great.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the funding for the?
I'll make a
Okay,
motion.
thank you, Ms. Thomas. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
Right, second by Mr. Kaiser. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
I recuse, just because I wasn't here.
Okay, so
So I'll
the-
go with you all, but.
The motion passes 4-0 then. So, thank you, Ms. Murphy.
Thank you.
We made the decision to table the approval until the March River meeting
On what?
on the MOU between CCPS and CCA.
Okay.
Because I felt like we needed to have all members present before we made a decision about that particular thing.
So where are we at now?
We are at the superintendent.
Oh, your favorite part.
We're at the what?
Superintendent. Oh, actually, the KSBA conference, just real quick.
Yeah.
It was a really wonderful, we got to spend time together as a board and work together. And I loved all the speakers and I think my favorite though, on Sunday morning, it was a jazz band. And they played some really good music. Last year, it was our RDZ jazz band. They weren't, so our band was, perfect. They were okay, because RDC wasn't there this year, but what, did you have anything you want to say?
I mean, pretty much everything that I got out of it, from the finances to the ethics, being a first year board member, I learned a lot, got to ask questions, got to hear how other districts were doing it, and heard a lot from other superintendents in training. Still got a long ways to go to figure out finance.
Finance is complicated, so. We did have, every county had a banner, and our banner was really cool. I don't know who turned it in, but it's got a cardinal, and it says greatness, Clark County. Do we know who did it?
Yeah, it said who it was
Oh, okay.
in the.
Student at the high school, for sure.
Yeah, it's a really great.
The theme was Road to Greatness, and so they,
To copy it off you.
well, I mean, I think the whole conference, copied off Clark County, since we're growing greatness everywhere.
Yeah.
There's the road to greatness, so.
On the board. Yeah. So Ashley, did you want to add anything?
And that was on the big board down there too, just to say, not just in the book, it's on the big jumbotron thing outside of the classrooms, and I told our students that it's drama.
Ms. Thomas, do you want to add anything?
My favorite part was the vendors.
She did have a good time.
I gave all kinds of information because there's so many neat things down there that we could add to our schools if we had the money. And I gave some up to Mr. Howard this afternoon, and maybe we'll look at doing some different things. So that was my favorite part. But I learned a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Your mind will just be blown when you go to the national conference, because that's when you get to go in the tents, like the stars are all above you and everything.
Yeah, that was really
It was really cool. We'll lose Paula, she'll be in there.
And then the people, Mr. Howard had to remind me, who's doing the system at Phoenix, the,
Audio enhancement.
yes, they were a sponsor, but they also, I was able to talk with the representative and real excited to get that started. We don't quite have it in yet, or we're getting
Not
ready
yet,
to.
we're working on it, Mr. Gatewood, he says we're this close. I'll let you know when we've got it done.
So that's exciting. So that was just to let you guys know that is what we did. We had meetings Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we are required, each one of us have, it depends on how long you've been on the board, how many hours a year you have to have. So that is what we did over the weekend. So I'll pass the torch over to Miss Roland Ritchie for
Richie Rowland.
Richie Rowland.
Okay, so we are now, I'll pass it on to Mr. Howard.
I saw this coming, it's gonna come. So the big news of the week is we have now opened our world-class, state-of-the-art preschool. I'm beyond ecstatic. Just with finally getting done after some people would say it took 18 to 24 months to build, I would say it took 13 to 14 years to build because of the progress and local planning committees from years past, and this board finally got it done, and the smiles. I was there at 6:45 on Monday morning as the first buses kind of rolled in, and to see the parents walk their students in, and these little fellas are taking it all in, and it's the nicest place they've ever been probably in their life. And then seeing parents tear up on the way back, the kids still running in the building after dropping them off, and our staff, and Ms. Jill Blanton, just a huge shout out to her and the entirety of the staff, our maintenance crew for helping Mr. Watkins, for help push, our transportation director, wonderfully done. Even Keith back here, I'll give him a big shout out. He's back here in a vest. He tried to get me in the vest, but I already had a gray suit on with purple tie, so I just started flagging in around. But it's been a great week. Be patient on some traffic things. We're still working through that. That's one of the benefits of starting mid-year. Tomorrow will be kind of our first full day with parents not necessarily walking kids in, so we'll take notes and we'll get better. First time we've done this, so just be patient with us, but know that now our kids are the first kids in the state of Kentucky to have a $25 million preschool. Big shout out, but I'm going to leave food services out because they've done a tremendous job getting ready to feed that many kids in the kitchen that just got approved on Friday, and then we fed kids on Monday. So thank you guys, I appreciate it. Also, we heard a little bit about it from Miss Amber Murphy, but Amazing Shake Week, it's one of my favorite weeks. Some people like Shark Week. I like Amazing Shake Week. It's a great program we've implemented here for a while. I won't talk as much about it because she was pretty eloquent with it. But it's for us, it showcases our students, their skill sets. It ties specifically into our Portrait of the Learner. So now we get to measure them on how well they're empowered leaders and reflective innovators and engaged citizens, effective communicators, resilient learners, and committed collaborators. And it's an all-week process. It starts with a gauntlet for 5th through 8th grade. Also, a big shout out to our high school students who came down and pretty much helped run it. The other shout I want to give to our community. I saw folks from, business owners to public servants. They're there working hand in hand. We'll get those official shout outs out and about so that I don't shortchange anyone unintentionally. East Kentucky Power hosted our second round today down the road. The mayor caught me midday along with the new city manager, and that's all they could talk about was how blown away they were with our kids, their skill sets, and how they show out. Tomorrow we've got a 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, and then of course the combination will be us going to Atlanta to the Ron Clark Academy and holding court, and we're going to win the thing. That's how talented our kids are right here in Clark County. Third thing, we do have a big event coming up this week. The Chamber of Commerce, we're actually hosting a breakfast for the Chamber. So we'll have hopefully 100 plus people here to really continue to connect with our community. We want to connect with our kids. We want to connect with each other, our staff. We want to connect with our parent. And my goodness, we need to continue to connect with our community. So we'll do that on Thursday morning. Again, big shout out to Miss Cindy Banks, kind of helping us lead the way with that. And then food services. I mean, I hate to even say what it is. I signed the bill today. It's not too bad, by the way. We're going to feed everybody, but they're going to have a gourmet buffet. Pancakes. If you want to stop by, we invited you too. So, and again, we're going back to the basics, hammered on literacy, basic math skills, staying in school, going to school every day. And I really look forward to the next 3 months, continue to educate our kids at a world-class level. So, any questions?
Can you make the school year slow down some?
Well, a couple things I've learned this year. I can't control the weather. I can only react to it. And slowing time down, I will try. Because we've got a great group of graduating seniors and on down that are going to keep moving up. And if you're sitting with one in the audience, they will walk across stage one day and you'll look back and think, my goodness gracious, how did we get here so quickly? So,
Yep. Thank you, Mr.
I need to do this for a second, so I just put mine up. We need to go back, because you didn't.
She said we don't have to do that.
We don't have to do that?
No.
Last meeting, we looked into that with Robert's Rules of Order. You can approve the minutes even if you didn't attend.
Okay, well, I did attend, I just
Yeah.
didn't vote. Okay, so there's our answer. Okay, we're good. All right, so now we are on to consent agenda items. And, would anybody like to make a motion for items, or J1 through J20?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Hall, second, I'm writing this on yours, Laura, I'm sorry. Second by Ms. Thomas. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Need a motion to adjourn into closed session. Consider approval for adjournment to executive session per KRS 61.810.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Kaiser,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We are in closed session at 7:57.
Now we gotta figure out how to turn this thing off.
I'm just gonna turn it off.
Mulligan, I might be